This was my very first Bey. But after all this time, is Dran Sword still worth using? Welcome to today's video. I'm Agent X, and today, we're taking a look at the first ever Beyblade X release, BX-01 Dran Sword, and seeing if it can still compete today. For those who are new to Beyblade X, the main gimmick of this generation is the Xtreme Line, a rail built into the stadium that lets Beys accelerate at super high speeds. When a Bey hits the rail correctly, it performs something called an extreme dash, where it rapidly speeds around the stadium for powerful attacks and knockouts. Unlike the older generations, Beyblade X is built around speed and aggression. Thanks to the Xtreme Line, Beys can launch themselves across the stadium at insane speeds, creating fast-paced and explosive battles. Dran Sword is the first release in Beyblade X, hence the number BX-01. Dran Sword is an attack-type Bey designed to focus on speed, aggression, and powerful knockouts through the Xtreme Line system. Its stock combo is 360 flat, with the flat bit helping it move quickly around the stadium. One of Dran Sword's biggest strengths is its movement. It constantly moves around the stadium looking for hits, and when it catches the Xtreme Line, it can deliver really strong attacks that can knock opponents out almost instantly. However, because it moves so aggressively, it can sometimes lose stamina quickly, or even knock itself out when you're not careful. But honestly, that high-risk, high-speed playstyle is what makes Dran so fun to use. Now with Dran Sword explained, let's move on to the battles. First round is against Dark Perseus on 680 Wedge. Underway with the battle against Dark Perseus and Dran Sword, solid contact, but the recoil is too much, and an over finish from Dark Perseus, my goodness. With the second match underway, Dran Sword attempting a drop launch onto Dark Perseus. He hits the extreme rail, and an over finish back! Dran Sword retaliates with an over finish of his own. With the second round underway, Dran Sword versus Dark Perseus, both Beys trying to fight for the next point. Hard hits from Dran Sword, but it is still not enough to get through the defenses of Dark Perseus. For the defense type, Dark Perseus is not doing half bad, therefore giving him the spin finish. Battle for 4 points, Dark Perseus looks like he's about to win, and Dran Sword with an extreme finish! With a one-hit KO extreme finish, awarding him 3 points, Dran Sword wins this round. The next battle is against Ptera Swing on 960 Ball. Round 1 of the second match looks like everything is going good. Exchange of extreme dashes from Ptera Swing and Dran Sword. Looks like Dran Sword is getting a little feisty this round. Ptera Swing is tilting, which is not a good sign, and 1 point for Dran with a spin finish. Within the second round of the second match, Dran Sword tries to do a drop launch but fails miserably, and straight into the over pocket. Wow, that is 2 points. Within the third and the final round of the second match, looks like everybody is trading blows. Strong hits from Dran Sword, but it doesn't seem too effective. Ptera Swing tilting again, which is not a good sign. Will this end like the first round? And it did, giving Dran Sword a spin finish and the winning point. The third battle is against Nightmail on 385 Bounce Spike. Anyways, we are back for round 2 for the third match against Nightmail. Beys are packing a lot of punch this round, and oh, nice extreme dash from Dran Sword, but doesn't really look like it did anything against Nightmail. Nightmail seems to be tipping over, and that's another point for Dran Sword. Round 3, here we go. Good launches from both bladers, and nice contact from Dran Sword. And so far, Nightmail has been going on the evasive. Looks like Nightmail's going for attack. Oh, nice contact from Nightmail. Looks like Dran Sword didn't like that, so he's throwing a barrage of attacks at the cost of his stamina, and Dran Sword is down. I repeat, Dran Sword is down. Looks like we might have a comeback, folks, and indeed, it is a comeback. Dran Sword mislaunched, giving Nightmail an extra 2 points for an over finish. On our way to the last round, and Dran Sword almost gets pocketed but escapes smoothly. Talk about smooth criminal, literally. Contact from Extreme Rail, Extreme Dash, he misses expeditiously. Nightmail chilling at center stage, Dran Sword knocks him out of center stage! But even after all of that, Dran Sword still loses, giving Nightmail the winning point. For this next Beyblade, Dran is going up against Night Fortress with guard vertical on 870 on the needle. Starting the battle, Dran Sword makes his way to the extreme rail, performing 2 extreme dashes, but it is not enough to overfinish Fortress Knight. Dran Sword comes again with a fury of attacks, but he has not learned his lesson about losing stamina because, therefore, loses the battle. With the second battle underway, Dran Sword trying to do a barrage of extreme dashes, Extreme Dash Infinity? But despite the efforts, he has not landed a good hit on Night Fortress. Dran Sword circling around finds a good hit on Night Fortress, but looks like he is tilting. This is gonna be bad, folks. Will he find his ground or not? Skip a few seconds and sadly, folks, Dran Sword has lost yet again to a spin finish. With the next few battles, Dran Sword has lost by spin finish due to the barrage of attacks he pulls off in the early rounds, but then runs out of stamina. Same goes for this last round against Night Fortress. Dran Sword doesn't seem to have any advantage against such a wall of a bay, so unfortunately, Dran Sword loses this battle. Anyways, let's move on to our next battle against Hell's Hammer 360 Gear Flat. Okay, I guess we're counting that as a point. After that mislaunch, we are ready for round 2. Looks like we are getting a multitude of X attacks from both bays over here. Hell's Hammer circling around Dran Sword gets a good hit, tilting. With all his weight tilted, losing stamina, and Hell's Hammer goes down. With the third match underway, Hell's Hammer attempting to do an extreme dash and fails miserably, therefore self-pocketing itself, giving Dran Sword 4 points and moving on. Second to the last match, we have Phoenix Wing on 770 point. Within the first round underway, Phoenix Wing comes in with a fast extreme dash, but Dran Sword does not falter. Both base training blows at this point, Phoenix Wing and Dran Sword. And Phoenix Wing goes down with a spin finish. Here we go with round 2, Dran Sword almost executing a perfect drop launch, but instantly gets shut down by Phoenix Wing. Phoenix Wing coming over to the right side, now tilting once more, and unfortunately ending with a spin finish yet again. In the next round, Phoenix Wing comes at Dran Sword with a barrage of attacks, but Dran Sword knocks the wind out of Phoenix Wing, but in the end, loses balance and spin. Both bays drop down for the next round, and a snipe! A snipe from Phoenix Wing, shooting Dran Sword into the over pocket. Both bays drop down for the last round. Solid hits from Phoenix Wing and Dran here, and Dran Sword gets tapped into the extreme pocket. 6 points for Phoenix, and we're moving on. Last match against Tyranno beat on 160 Rush. Round 1 begins, both bays making contact with the stadium floor. Dran Sword making his way around the stadium looking for openings, but Tyranno beat does not seem to be phased at all. Dran Sword seems to be tilting, losing stamina as Tyranno beat wears him down. Is this battle gonna be a close one, ladies and gentlemen? And sadly, Tyranno wins the first point. Both bays make contact with the stadium floor once again for round 2, and oh, what solid collision from Dran Sword and Tyranno beat! Both bays are now chasing each other down until Dran Sword gets a solid hit, almost knocking Tyranno into the over pocket, but Tyranno does not falter. And now at a loss of stamina, Dran Sword falls once again. Dropping down for the third round, Dran Sword going crazy around the stadium. He starts to chase Tyranno down and attacking with a barrage of hits. But attacks come at a loss of stamina. Tyranno wins the third point. From the test battles to the matches against other bays, I can say that Dran Sword is one of the fastest and most aggressive bays in Beyblade X, making it great for powerful knockouts and exciting battles. Its strong movement and ability to perform fast X dashes allow it to pressure opponents constantly during matches. Dran Sword is also very beginner friendly because of its simple and straightforward attack-focused design. However, because of its very aggressive playstyle, it can also lose stamina quickly during battles. It can also be inconsistent at times, occasionally missing attacks and knocking itself out because of its speed. But even with those weaknesses, Dran Sword remains a fun, iconic, and surprisingly effective bay for both new and experienced players. So with a win ratio of 4 wins and 4 losses, yes, we are counting the Excalibur battle from earlier in the video, is Dran Sword still worth using today? And honestly, yeah, I think it is. Even with newer and stronger attack types being released like Meteor Dragoon and Tyranno Beat, Dran Sword still holds up as a fast, aggressive, and incredibly fun Bey to use. It may not be the strongest anymore, but it's simple, beginner-friendly, and still capable of delivering really powerful knockouts, just with the right launch. And for me personally, this was the Bey that started everything. This may have been my first Bey, but it's only the beginning of the mission. I'm Agent X, and I'll see you in the next battle.